Used to be you were one of the most feared bounty hunters in all the West. But you gave that up. Buried your irons. Traded them for a normal life. Tonight, though, that's all gonna change.
So I was scrolling through PlayStation Plus trials, and it came upon Devolver Digital published a game from Wolfeye Studios called Weird West.
The West, a land of opportunity, adventure, a place where you can be a hero, a scoundrel, and anything in between. Play your cards right, and coming out here could be the best thing that ever happened to you. If you can survive, that is.
The game has a 2-hour trial available on PlayStation Plus currently, and so I figured I'd give it a go. It looked interesting from the trailer, and these are my thoughts. So the first thing is the game is almost like a top-down type of shooter, but with action platformer, I guess, type of elements. And it's set in this really weird West, no pun intended, but weird version of this, the Wild Wild West, no Will Smith. And essentially, there's this cult that is running everything, and then you're essentially like reincarnated, and you have to unveil the mysteries of the West and what's going on with this cult. So you can get abilities, essentially. You find these like little purple crystal style things, and that allows you to get a point to rank up your abilities, whether it's with shooting, 20 seconds of lethal kicking, or just anything else to do with upgrading your character in general. The game's a lot of fun. I honestly enjoyed the full 2-hour play trial. I actually didn't think it was that long, because that's how much I was into the game. And essentially, the difficulty level of the game can be extremely difficult to fairly easy. It really depends on how you go about the game itself and what your playstyle is. If you're the type of player who likes to stealth, you can get away with it, and you can essentially just murk a bunch of guys. You just follow their patterns and then just sneak up behind them, press the R2 button, and then it will choke them out. And you can then choose to cut them up with the machete, or stab them with the knife, or bury them with the shovel. Those are all possibilities, essentially, but the other enemies can also locate those bodies, so it's best to always bury the dead bodies. As I was going through, I just had to try and figure out what worked and what didn't. And I saved quite frequently, because there's certain points where it's just like I don't want to replay that again. So I usually save it at after, like, maybe I took out a bunch of enemies, like 3 or 4, stealth killed them, and then I save it, and then I essentially try to go from that point and figure out through trial and error what works and what doesn't. Sometimes you can go in and you can just shoot up the place because there's not that many enemies. But in one of the towns that I had to essentially find this husband, also there's like side objectives that you can get. There was a guy inside like a tunnel system that's in the mines essentially, and he was dying, and so I got him a bandage and then completed that. You get your reputation up. You also make lifelong friends who come in to help you in battle, which is pretty dope. So essentially, if you're starting to die, or the game feels like, yo, you're fucked, you're gonna lose, essentially they have these friends that you make throughout helping them, and they help you then in battle and take out the enemies. One of the things I figured out is don't fuck with the zombies. The zombies suck. You waste so much fucking goddamn ammo on these fucking things, and then the town that I was in where a lot of these zombies were, it didn't fucking matter. Actually, I went through a lot of different houses. I got more dinged up and bullets lost and queens killed and zombies and all this stuff. It was worthless. It was a waste of my time. I didn't find anything in these towns. In fact, that's about the time that I was nearly dying, so then one of my lifelong friends decided to help me out. But from that point, I was just like, okay, so I shouldn't have gone to this town, because there's no reason for me to go here. But you get a map, and essentially how it works is you can go through an exit point, and then you can travel to like little small checkpoints on your map, and then days progress or hours progress depending on how long the journey is. And then along the map, as you're watching your character slowly go to the checkpoint that you just chose, sometimes you can meet a bump in the road. And those bumps in the roads can sometimes be something as useful as a goods vendor, where you can sell a lot of your stuff, and you get a lot of stuff. This is like Fallout level of stuff, shit that you can load up in your backpack and that you can essentially sell. But these good vendors are extremely helpful, but sometimes you can meet a bump in the road and it's a bunch of enemies. That happened a couple times. I met a bunch of Stillwater enemies that I had to essentially murk and take out and then bury with my shovel. And but it makes the game interesting and fun. It also makes it so that you have to pay attention to where you're going. Sometimes, well, at least on the horseback, so you can steal horses. There was a Stillwater, I would say, compound that I had taken out. And essentially, there's horses that you can just hop on, and it automatically takes you to wherever you want to go. But because you're on a horse, you essentially will stroll past, I guess, or ride past, my bad. Ride past a point where you might have, if you were walking, would have automatically stopped. So you can actually go back to those points, but the safest way to travel by far is through horseback. The guns are pretty cool. I mean, you got shotguns, hunter rifles, you have handguns. There's a lot of variety. There's a lot of different weapons that you get. A lot of the same weapons, but you can sell those at a goods vendor. But there's a lot of different variety in guns. There's also dynamite. There's, I think, flash grenades or something. Molotov cocktails is another thing. But a lot of stuff that you can utilize to take out your enemies. And all the while you're battling, it feels like the soundtrack itself was ripped out of not real, but imaginary world where David Lynch made a really screwed up Western type of film. That's the type of soundtrack that I get, at least the vibes of it. And it's really, really fits perfectly with the style of play, as well as the world that you're placed in. There's no voice actors. However, each character has like their own like unique sound filter when they make their sounds, so they distinguish them. So it's not basically just one annoying sound that you hear constantly. You know, think like a Zelda game, right? A lot of them don't have, not now anymore, I guess, but you, especially for a long time, you just had a lot of Zelda characters that all sound the same because they had only one note. Well, in this game, they put filters over it, so it makes it stand out, and then you know who's talking and who's not talking. It seems like there's so much with this game, and even with the 2 hours that I played, I feel like I haven't even cracked the surface of what you're able to do essentially in here. With the countless unlockables, the abilities that you can get, the weapons you can find, just various like encounters that you come across on the map, just a lot of different things that just are absolutely, I'm excited to possibly get into this game. Currently, it's not on sale. It's full price right now at $39.99. I definitely plan on picking this game up at some point so that I can go through the entire experience and then give you like a final stretch review once I'm done playing the game. Devolver Digital has quickly become one of those publishers that I go to for great games that are very unique and stand out. It feels like they've given indie developers a chance to really shine and put their games on a, like a bigger scale, I guess, to see for wider audiences. And most Devolver Digital published games I've really enjoyed. And this is no different. Weird West is absolutely fantastic. I mean, you got Neva, which is going to be a Devolver Digital published game as well, which absolutely looks incredible when I saw it at the PlayStation Showcase. So, I'm definitely, my first impression of Weird West, I'm going to give this game a 4.25 out of 5, and we'll see where it goes from there, and hopefully in my final stretch review, I'm able to really break everything down and tell you exactly what is all entailed in this game. But as of right now, this game's a 4.25 out of 5. But let us know down below, have you played Weird West? Have you thought about playing this game? What's maybe your favorite Devolver Digital title? Let's start a conversation in the comments down below. Also down below, you're going to find the description where me and my brother Rocky's all of the socials are located, as well as a link to our other main channel, Smokin Sessions. There's also movie sessions, great channels that are all in a similar vein to gaming sessions. So if you enjoy the cool stoner style content that we have here on gaming sessions, you'll definitely enjoy those channels as well. And thank you so much for watching and or listening to this video. And if you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like, hit subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And we'll see you all in the next gaming sessions.
To the Weird West.
I spaced out of my head to the depths of the universe. It's a spell or a chance just to open up a newer curve.